Hey everyone, welcome to Math This Morning. So continuing on with our learning about the concept of elapsed time, and let's just back up and really get a clear definition of elapsed time. That's the time in between two moments. So it's the amount of time that has passed between two times on a clock. So we're just going to start this activity by looking at this review question. It says you arrive at the park at 12:25 p.m. You can spend 3 hours and 30 minutes there. Now, how do you figure out what time you need to go home? So this strategy, we talked yesterday, if you watched the video, about a couple different strategies on how to find elapsed time. We did some number line strategies, and this strategy just focuses on using the clock. And what we're going to do is we're going to make jumps by the hour, and then we're going to add the minutes, and we're going to see what time it is after our 3 hours and 30 minutes. So I think yesterday, most of your questions were you were given a start and an end time, and you were figuring out the time in between. Well, today you're given a start time and a duration, so how long you can be somewhere. And you need to figure out the end time. So starting here, we're looking at 12:25 on a clock, and this dotted hour hand points to where it would be pointing at for 12:25. And if we kind of move that hour hand 3 hours, because we know we can stay for 3 hours and 30 minutes, we're going to move it once. So before it was pointed kind of at the second tick. So if we move it a full hour, it would be now between the 1 and the 2, pointed at the second tick. That's 1, and then 2, and then 3. So we have our hour hand now in between the 3 and the 4 after 3 hours. And it shows that on the clock here. And then we're going to move our minute hand 30 minutes. And that's a nice friendly number. We can do jumps of 5 really easily. So starting at the minute hand where it would have been before, pointing at the 5, which is 25. We're going to make our jumps of 30, or jumps up to 30 minutes. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We can see we are now at the 11. And when we are pointed at the 11, we know that is 5 minutes until the next hour. So if you were thinking there's 60 minutes in an hour and you take away 5 from 60, you can get 55. Or you could count around the clock. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. You know your hour hand is between the 3 and the 4. It's not at the 4 yet, so it's still in the 3 o'clock hour. So the time you need to leave is 3:55. Just kind of moving through these questions at the bottom of the first page. Rappy's guitar lesson starts at 7:15. So I'm just going to show 7:15 on the clock as best as I can. I'm going to use a bit of a thinner line. How do I do that? Maybe I'll make it 7. Oh, here we go. Good. All right. So his guitar lesson starts at 7:15. So let's put 7:15 on this clock. So my hour hand is going to be between the 7 and the 8, kind of closest to the 7. I'm not going to put an arrow on it because I just don't have that kind of control. And so 7:15, so that's our start time. And our end time is going to be after 40 minutes. So I don't need to add an hour to my clock. I'm just going to make jumps of 5 until I've moved my minute hand 40 minutes. So there's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So my new time is going to be my minute hand pointing at the 11, which I know is 55. My hour hand would be still between the 7 and the 8, but it would be really close to pointing at the 8. And my time would be 7:55. And that's what you would need to do to answer this question. Okay. Let's check out some of the other questions on this page. All right. each elapsed time. So now you're given a start time and an end time, and you need to figure out the time in between. So from 6:45 to 7:58, I'm actually going to use my number line strategy. So I'm going to start at 6:45. Maybe if I use a text box, that'll be the best way to show this. So from 6:45, if I add 15 minutes, it'll get me to 7. And that's a nice round number. So that gets me to 7 o'clock. And then I'm going to make some jumps of 5 all the way to kind of the closest 5-minute increment to 7:58. So if I'm moving around the clock, I could get all the way to 7:55. So probably 55 more minutes will get me to 7:55. Then once I'm at 7:55, I only need to add 3 minutes to get to 7:58. To figure out the elapsed time, I need to add up all the increases or all the jumps I made from 6:45 to 7:58. So I made a 15-minute jump, I made a 55-minute jump, and a 3-minute jump. So I'm going to take 5 minutes from my 15 minutes and add it to 55 to make 1 hour. Let me show that here with my marker. So I'm going to take 5 minutes from my 15, which is going to leave me with 10. I'm just going to put that over here. I'm going to take 5 minutes of that, and I'm going to add that to my 55 minutes, and that's going to give me 60 minutes, which I know is 1 hour. And then I've got 10 minutes left over here. I've got 3 minutes left over here, so I'm going to put those together. And 10 plus 3 is 13. So my elapsed time is 1 hour and 13 minutes. Okay. Hopefully that helps you with the next two. Here, the hot air balloon is, I went a little bit too far. I can't read it. The hot air balloon is a 1 hour and 20 minutes long ride. Complete the table below to show the end time for each ride. So if you left in the morning at 7:45 and it was 1 hour and 20 minutes long, what time would you land? Okay. Excuse me. So I'm going to, again, model how I would add this time on. So starting at 7:45, I'm going to use my text box again because I really liked that. If I add 20 minutes to 7:45, if I'm going around the clock, that's going to get me to 5 minutes would be 50, then 55, 7:55. Then 8 o'clock would be 15 minutes. So let's do that. So if I do plus, so 7:45 plus 15 minutes, it's going to get me to 8 o'clock. But I needed to add 20 minutes, not 15, so I'm going to add those 5 more minutes. Oops. And that's going to get me to 8:05. Just going to let it come down underneath here. And so I've added my minutes, and now I just need to add the hour. So add 1 hour, and that's going to change the hour time, and the minute time is going to stay the same. So it's going to get me to 9:05, and that would be the end time of my balloon ride. Okay, see if you can work through the rest of this question. And then the last two, before the stretch your thinking question, how much time is there between the start of the second ride and the start of the third ride? So how much time is there between 12:15 and 2 p.m.? And here it says Keisha left home at 11:20. She got to the balloon rides at 1:15. How long did it take her to get there? So figure out the elapsed time between 11:20 and 1:15. And finally, the stretch your thinking. Find out the sunrise and sunset times for today. Record the times and find the elapsed time between them. Oh, I love that question. If you want to go and find the sunrise and sunset times, you could just Google Kitchener sunrise and sunset times in the Weather Network will come up, or another website similar to that. So interested to see how you do. Hopefully this video helps you with today's math, and good luck and hope you enjoy it. Remember to email me questions if you get stuck.